Okay, it's 2:30 in the morning, and I couldn't sleep. Obviously, it's Thursday morning after Ian the hurricane, and this is the front door. I had to block it with this giant beanbag my daughter had, and this bench, and some cushions because it was flexing really badly in the wind, and obviously the rain drove through and got it soaked. The beanbag I moved up because it's soaked. The water was all the way up to to my toe going downstairs. This stair right here, this stair's wet. This one didn't get soaked, but this one's wet. You can see the high water mark. If you look at the shadowing, if you can see the shadowing there, you can see the high water mark is right here. If that gives you an idea, that's above the second door hinge. And I can show you the shadow here. Actually, if you look there, you'll see the scum line. This little crusty scum line right to that nook there is where the high water mark. So that matches up to kind of right what I was telling you, right to that stair. You can, it's flashing funny because I'm using a headlamp. I don't know. Here's the high water mark, that little scum mark there. And it goes right to that stair. And that is the second to last stair going, or yeah, second, or this one, it was right to that top of that stair. And then you can see the high water mark along that wall. Here, that little scum line right there. And basically it's kind of my rib height. Yeah, it's right at my rib cage height. The first rib, kind of the bony little rib that sticks out. This obviously is just disaster. That was all our shelves and files, and you can see the scum back in there. Oh, I gotta put some shoes on. But my truck was out front, woke me up this morning because it was taillights were stuck on. I guess it's been flooded, so the wiring's shot. All this, every bit here was floating chest height, as you can imagine. All this stuff, the helmets. This couch was, everything was floating. This couch was just floating around. It used to be over there. It used to be lined up right here, this direction. There was a TV on that wall that floated up into that cabinet. So you can see her, my sculpture, here's the high water mark here, this light switch right there. So she was covered up to just under her chest. And there's the cabinet the TV was sitting on. That floated, everything floated. That stuff was all sitting real high, but the wood floats and then it just topples everything. But all of this stuff, all the paddle boards were just floating around in a big soup with every bottle and can from the garage that you can imagine. Went over these sewing machines, industrial sewing machines. There's the door to the closet, a door to the closet there. So this was floating. It was over the weight equipment. This speaker was floating. This chair was floating. Unreal. And all this stuff toppled over and oh shit. So what I need to do is cut my fucking foot. Ouch. What the hell that thing is? What is that thing? Jesus, I don't know what that is. Forget what is this? Oh, part of our dishwasher. Oh, Jesus, there's the window to the door. Or to the door to, I'm sorry, the window to the boat is right here. Yeah, I took that off for safekeeping. It would have ripped off the boat. The boat took a beating too. It's missing some gel coat. It was banging up against the dock. That chair I wound up sticking up there, but you can see the high water mark in here because of the bubble on the paint. All the way up to here, so above the sink. These guys were floating around. I just got this week, the washing machine, no joke. Everything, new cables there, new washing machine. And the truck and the boat are right outside the window here. If you can see it, I don't think you can. And went over the weights. All the sewer came up because we're at the lower level. As you can see, the toilet's elevated, so this is down below. And then that's the only motorcycle I saved. I jacked it up on that, and it even got wet, but it only got wet up to about here, I think. Well, obviously, yeah, to my rib height. So it got over the wheel hubs. So every one of these other bikes was submerged underwater. There's my shop vac. And my generators made it. Holy cow, they were at the highest shelf, or higher shelf there. So this washing machine was floating. That's the old one I didn't get rid of yet because it was that recent. And all these tools got soaked. That bike was completely underwater. That bike was completely underwater. Underwater. Oh, man. So every little thing I kept on the shelves here floated up. And so I was walking through a soup of all this stuff. All the way up to my belly button, walking through soup of floating debris. And I started piling it into these tubs to control it because I had to bleed the door. I, unfortunately, the water was coming and going so quickly. Unfortunately, it couldn't leave or come fast enough, and I was afraid it was going to blow the sliders. Those sliding glass doors right there, the water was different, the height on the inside and the outside, both going in and both going out. And you know what happens in that case? You blow the glass. So I had to open this door during the storm, which was insane. It wasn't even flowing under the garage fast enough. I guess that seal was tight enough. And I had to bleed this water out with a strap around the handle because I could barely hold on to it during the winds and bleed all the water in and out. I just had to let it in, and that door was getting forced closed. So I had to force it open to let the water in to equalize the pressure on the glass sliders there. So anyway, you can see these doors barely made it. I braced them, and I put the van in front of them, which in hindsight probably should have just, well, I think we might have lost the roof if they lost these doors. So I still have the roof. I did see some water damage, some leaks obviously, and missing a bunch of soffit and stuff. Anyhow, everything was completely submerged up to my sternum. And the pool, obviously it was sternum height out here. Here's the watermark. There you go. High watermark here. That's right at the beginning of my first rib. Actually, yep, exactly. So it was just crazy. That's the canvas from the top of the boat canopy. And so the pool obviously is now canal water. This is all scum. Don't know what that is. Yeah, blah. And we did lose this screen here. That blew out. See if you see my buddies in the weeds there. The raccoons are hiding in the mangroves. Probably hanging on for dear life. They had a tough night too. There's the pool box. That floated away because that was up against the wall. That pool looks nice now. Who knows what's in it? No, it shouldn't be anything. Got filtered mostly by the screen. Anyway, quick walk around and not much fun. A lot of work ahead of it. Yeah, there's the high water mark. Oh my God. It was slapping. There was waves slapping against that slider. I was like, these things are going to blow. And that's why I had to let that pressure in and out, because I didn't want those waves to bust that glass, and then I would have a, breach in the whole system and pressurize the home and rip the roof off type of thing. Anyway, that's our mess. I'm sure everybody in the block's got one. Talk to you guys later. Bye.